I got to show you an amazing survey that just came out. And you know what? This deserves more attention than I can give it today. So today I'm just giving you the overview. We're going to go over this in more detail later and drill down on some of these numbers on another episode. But wow, this is the estimated housing shortage according to 11 major research firms. Folks, this is not my opinion. this is not even just my experience being in the market every day for the past many decades, and definitely for the last 2 decades being in the investor only market, previously being in the traditional real estate market before that, although I did have quite a few investor clients back in the old days. So here is what they say. These are the numbers according to these 11 major research firms. Fannie Mae says that there is a housing shortage of 4.4 million homes. Zillow says 4.3 million home shortage. Bank of America says 4 million home shortage. Freddie Mac says there is a shortage of 3.8 million homes. National Association of Realtors says there's a shortage of 3 million homes. Realtor.com says the shortage is not as bad as that. It's just 2.3 million homes. Morgan Stanley says the shortage is 2 million homes. JP Morgan agrees with Morgan Stanley. I wonder why. 2 million home shortage in their opinion. John Burns, who we've had on the show a few times and some of his people have been on, says we are short by 1.7 million homes. Moody's Analytics, and we've had them on the show a few times, says we are short by 1.7 million homes. And Zonda, a real estate software used by developers and a research firm owned by my friend Jeff Myers, who's been on the show before, says we are 1 million homes short. Apparently, Jeff Myers doesn't think we have that bad a shortage, only 1 million homes. But compared to what? How much inventory do we have? Well, right now we have about 500,000 homes for sale in the United States. We should have about 1.2 million to just be at the normal level, not the buyer's market level, not the crash level, not the bad market level, just the normal level. We have less than half of normal inventory right now. And as your humble coach and teacher and advisor when it comes to all things real estate, what have I taught you? Well, you know what I've taught you? I've taught you to ask, what are they not telling us? What does this chart and what do these 11 major research firms not tell us? Well, they don't tell us segmenting by price or geography or many other things, but those are two major components, right? So if you segment just by price, these shortages are dramatically more acute in the entry-level housing market. Those houses we like as good rental properties that make good sense for rental real estate. So we're going to go into this more later, but this is really quite vindicating and quite concerning if you're looking to buy, because you just see how this shortage is very bad and it is likely to persist for many years. And we've talked about that ad nauseum on prior episodes and all the reasons why that's true. So we won't go into it today. All right, let's look at the next thing. So I thought we should talk about romance, and particularly romance scams. This is a financial show. I don't want you to lose money. I don't want you to get burned. And one of the best ways to steal from people is through the heart, right? And this is when people are particularly susceptible. Now, we're all familiar with the Tinder swindler and that documentary that was out a few years ago. And, you know, I don't think that was a very fair documentary. Why is that? Well, because they portray this guy who, gets these women to like him and, he's stealing from them. He goes after these wealthy women. And this makes men look really bad, right? But a lot of women do that actually, and the courts support it. Our whole legal system supports that whole thing, right? So it's really not fair, but it is the way it is. Now, these romance scams are not gender oriented. Okay. So these are just general romance scams, but they are on the rise. If you're looking at the chart, you see from 2019 to 2023, these romance scams are much higher. But remember, we always have to allow and sort of adjust our thinking whenever we look at anything for the very weird COVID era. That's when these peaked at about 80,000 per year being reported in the United States. People reporting these, and the Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, keeping statistics on these. So now we see 64,000 reported last year. And it begs the question, how many are unreported? It's a huge number that are not reported. Why? Because, hey, look, a lot of crimes just don't get reported at all. And that's really too bad. You should always report a crime. You should always try to hold people accountable for what they do, whether it be criminally, civilly, or whatever, right? And by the way, if you're ever having trouble with your vendors, your contractors, your property managers, reach out to your investment counselor. We've got a list of agencies that you can complain to. Look, folks, you pay taxes to have a government, right? You might as well use it. It's so easy to do. And, no guarantees, just like litigation, no guarantees, very expensive. This costs you no money because you've already paid for it through your taxes and your inflation, right? Because they keep inflating away the value of your stocks, bonds, savings, and thankfully your debt on income properties or even non-income properties, because that's inflation-induced debt destruction. But I digress. So use these government agencies to your benefit. If you have any bad person or company that is taking advantage of you, that is not doing their job, that is neglecting your property or your needs as a consumer, reach out to your investment counselor through jasonhartman.com. Or if you already have an investment counselor and you're matched up with one of our great team members, they will be glad to help you. We have a whole list of all kinds of data of different government agencies that can help you and assist you get justice, get money, get action, get what you need. Okay. So report this stuff. Okay. So you can solve the problem. Don't be a victim. We will help you fight back. More than 64,000 cases reported last year, with losses totaling $1.14 billion. That's with a B. Well, frequency has fallen. It was highest during the COVID era. So kind of an anomaly. It's still much higher than it was pre-COVID. The median loss is $2,000 per victim, which makes them the costliest of any form of imposter scam. I've heard the stories about these men who go on these dating sites. And, the women will say, send me some money, send me a gift, send me some cryptocurrency, help me pay my bills, help me pay my rent, whatever. They could be US based, they could be foreign based. And folks, don't do it. This is almost always 99.9% of the time, it's a scam. And look, if it's not a scam, well, define scam. I mean, in the world of romance, it's pretty hard to define what a scam is, right? So the typical romance scammer contacts their target through social media, feigning love and deceiving people into sending money, often in the form of cryptocurrency or gift cards. Bottom line, a good rule of thumb, sad stories are usually a scam. That's what the FTC says. Now, on another note, and this is really disgusting, so trigger alert. And I bring this up because it's kind of interesting to me, like nobody talks about this stuff anymore. And that's what I'm about to talk about. So I saw this chart and it was really scary. Okay. This is STIs, right? So sexually transmitted infections, STDs, whatever you want to call them, right? Am I missing something, or is it like nobody talks about this stuff anymore? I guess when I was a kid in school, high school, used to hear about this stuff when AIDS was a big deal and Magic Johnson got AIDS and all that stuff, like that was really publicized a lot. But people do not talk about VD. This is deadly stuff, or it's life-altering, terrible stuff. And promiscuity is just beyond the beyond nowadays. It's disgusting. Okay. So look at this. This is a chart from Statista, and the source here is at the bottom, the ECDC Surveillance Atlas of Infectious Diseases. And this is European stats. And these numbers are freaking scary through the roof. Okay, so don't just jump into the sack with people, folks. It's really dangerous. Look at this 29% increase in chlamydia, 131% increase in gonorrhea, 60% increase in syphilis. Folks, this is super scary stuff. So there's your public service announcement from me. All right, join us for our Empowered Investor Cruise. It's going to be a great time. And thank you to all of you who've registered. Registration's really been picking up lately. We're going to have a great mastermind. You're going to learn a lot, have a lot of fun, casual hanging out experience on the beautiful brand new Celebrity Apex cruise ship. It's going to be great. Also, I got to mention that yesterday I did a video for my YouTube channel where I do software demos, where I talk about all of these great real estate tools that you can use to make management easier, to track your portfolio, to manage your managers, or hopefully hybrid self-management, because hopefully you are becoming independent where you don't have to depend on some manager doing a good or bad job to make things happen for you, right? You are the person in control. Remember, we believe in direct investing. Thou shalt maintain control is commandment number 3 of my 10 commandments for investors. And yesterday, I did a full length, about a half-hour long demo video session with our sponsor, Baselane. This is a truly unique, groundbreaking product they have, where they've combined real estate software and the tools that we need as real estate investors with banking. They overlay all this right onto the banking platform, so you don't have to deal with your bank on one side and your real estate software on another side. It's the number one banking platform built for real estate investors. It's banking, it's online rent collection, bookkeeping, tax reporting, analytics, and much more. And there's a chance to win a $500 gift card if you go to baselane.com/Jason.